we're welcoming back Paul Barnes, Managing Director of MAP, once more, who's going to be talking to us through the final phase of the agency maturity curve, which is called integrated. So Paul, integrated is the final of these phases. Why can it only happen at this stage of the maturity curve? And can you talk us through the individual elements really that kind of comprise it?
Yeah, so it can only happen at this stage because only now have you got the data to be able to confidently make key strategic decisions for the business about the long term. So the danger is that you build a strategy, and without actually understanding what's under the bonnet of the business and what the beast that we're looking at today looks like, they become more like dreams really and visions without being rooted in any sort of truth about where the business is at now. So if we said, we want to be doing £1 million a year from web development projects, that might be really ambitious or not ambitious at all, depending on what your revenue last year was, what's in your pipeline now, what your conversion rates are, and the marketing activities that you're undertaking. So when we get to this phase, we've already built all of that data, and we already understand how this business is built up and how it makes money, where its key drivers are, where its profit drivers and its profit drainers are showing up, so that we can use that information to be able to make real sound decisions. So this is where finance starts to become integrated into the wider business. Finance is no longer just the leadership team instructing the finance team, if you like, on what they want to see. This is finance now coming into leadership and helping to create the financial strategy of the business and helping to lead where the business is going. So there are 3 parts to this in the integrated stage. The first part is about building upon the management information that we created at the essentials phase. So absolutely having a month-end pack that provides the fundamental financials promptly after month ends, so profit and loss account, balance sheet, cash flow. But it also starts to think about what are the other KPIs of the business. What are the alarm bells that we need to watch out for? What are the things that we know we need to hit in addition to the high level financials if we're going to achieve our strategy? So you start to provide richer management information at this stage that go beyond just a P&L and a balance sheet. Secondly, mapping the strategy is about the strategy and vision for the business in terms of who are the clients that we want to be dealing with, what's the mix of services that we want to be delivering, what are we going to be best at, what does the team need to look like for this business, what do we want to be known for, so this is really starting to get into the wider consultancy piece, if you like. And if you can do this with an independent person coming into the business at this stage, they will help you to think about the market opportunity for the business and being able to make the most of the opportunity that you've got in your industry to achieve your ambition. And it's also about understanding what the goals of the individuals are as well, personally and from a business perspective, because there's no point chasing other people's goals. We want to know what the goals of the shareholders, directors of this business are and what they want to get out of it. That's what we talk about mapping the strategy. It's thinking long term. It's thinking far wider than the finances. And then the non-financial reporting falls out of that. So that's when we can start to think about sales and marketing metrics, operational metrics, customer, employee metrics that are, again, not just about hitting industry benchmarks or because we've read that they're important on a blog somewhere, but because they've fallen out of the strategy of what we said we want to achieve as a business. So if you can start to overlay them with a really good MI pack then now suddenly you've got finance properly integrated with the wider business and driving its strategy.
What's the relevance of non-financial reporting sitting alongside financial KPIs?
You'll be amazed at what patterns you see sort of showing up when you overlay the two things together. So, for example, the business is hugely profitable. EBITDA is, higher than we expected. The employment costs as a percentage of revenue are much lower than expected. Sounds great, we're smashing our targets, but actually employee morale, employee retention is down. And you can sort of connect the dots and think, maybe we are burning our team out, and maybe we've got our foot too far down here. So without that metric of retention or employee morale, you think everything's hunky-dory, let's keep growing this business, we've got something that's working here, and actually you could be heading for disaster. So it's almost like the warning signs really of your future financial KPIs, if that makes sense.
Just to kind of sum it up, what do you mean by finance becoming a true partner to the rest of the business?
So partnering for me is about finance is no longer outsourced at this stage. We're working together. As I said, you're not providing instruction to finance. Finance is coming in, it's being curious, it's asking questions of the leadership, it's coming up with ideas. So rather than just reacting to what the board needs, it's actually driving some of those priorities of the business and helping the business to make more informed decisions rather than just reacting to what the business wants. And that requires real cohesion of going through a journey together. We're not finance professionals, are not superheroes. We need to work with the business, and the business needs to work with finance to get the best out of each other.
And how can people who are curious of understanding where they sit on the maturity curve and how integrated their finance actually is with the rest of the business, what steps can they take to go on that journey?
So we built a scorecard to help agencies to identify where they fit on the scorecard, where they fit on the curve, and it will give them a score overall for their agency maturity, and then it'll give a score broken down for each of the 3 stages. So you'll be able to see for integrated on its own, what you'll be able to self-diagnose how you score in that area and what are some of the opportunities to improve.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Paul. And for anyone who's interested in trying the scorecard for free, then details are here.
Thank you.